I am the spectator. I am he who spectates. I scoured the universe in search of a very special card game. Well, I skipped the Crab Nebula because, you. But now my search is over. Ever wish you could share your love of comics and superheroes and collectible card games with your whole family? Now you can with
Superpowered Smashmasters!
It's your friendly neighborhood superhero parody card game. In Superpowered Smashmasters, or Spasm. Spasm? Can we say that?
Inappropriate.
In Spasm, you assemble teams of heroes and build decks around what your heroes can do. And what is it they do, you ask? Protect the innocent? Stamp out injustice?
No, we go find some rival heroes to smash.
Yes, because that's what superheroes do.
Tell them about the hero cards, and do it right.
Each hero has a special power. They can benefit your team, or they can melt your enemies' faces.
Right on. If your heroes smash all the other heroes, you win, punk.
Don't call them that. The game's content is appropriate for kids. I mean, most kids.
Not feral kids. Never hand your cards to a feral kid. Not if you want your hand back.
This is a parody game, lovingly crammed full of comic book cliches and pop culture references. 'Cause we're nerds.
The content's rated G. I mean, it would be if people rated card games.
It's a deck-building game the whole family can play together. Thanks for checking out our game. We're grateful for your support.
Learn more about Smashmasters by checking out our gameplay video. Do it. Until next time,
Don't say it.
Excelsior!
Naya is an orphan with a rare gift. Others with this gift can take pain from a person and transfer it into the cobalt blue metal known as Pinvium. But Naya's gift is flawed. She can only transfer pain from one person to another. Orphaned on an island nation occupied by a conquering enemy and trying to locate her missing sister, Naya has to make sure they don't find out, or she'll be weaponized against her own people. Be sure to back Janice Hardy's The Healing Wars, Book 1, Part 1, The Shifter, from Dojo-kun Comics.
Greetings, I'm Chris Tamulevich, creator, writer, and artist for The Great Cyclopean. If you're new to The Great Cyclopean, you've stumbled across the most original superhero of the 21st century. The Great Cyclopean, known to his friends as Peter, is a deaf and mute extraterrestrial who is gifted with a blossoming array of super abilities. At the tender age of 19, he struggles with commitments he's made to the U.S. government while dealing with all the ups and downs of becoming his own man. In issue 6, the Great Cyclopean stands his ground and has to battle his mentor, Captain Aura. Getting the upper hand, Cyclopean finds that there's a team of superpowered government assassins who have come to take his life. Deceived and betrayed, Cyclopean faces his greatest challenge yet. Will Captain Aura help take down the Great Cyclopean, or will he side with his pupil? Find out in issue 6 of The Great Cyclopean. Lock in and lock on, only on funmycomic.com.
And soldiers of the truth, the criminals are gone. When the titan is en route, never fear the power of justice in your midst. Cause this is Captain Aura, his force is hard as bricks. Captain Aura saves the day, the wicked always run away. Captain Aura saves the day, the prison with the bad guy in.
The Civil War was America's bloodiest conflict. Over 500,000 died to preserve national unity. When the war ended, Confederates like Harley Brogdon headed west, shooting game for the Army and gambling. When a card game turns deadly, Harley shoots in self-defense, killing the card sharp who threw down first. Wilfred Knorr, the card sharp's wealthy father, will stop at nothing to see Harley hang. Harley flees to Cobb's Gap, an old silver mining town at the foot of the Rockies. A remarkably peaceful town, especially after dark. But the sheriff harbors a dark secret. and no one dares go into the mines anymore. Cobb's Gap is full of secrets. People speak in hushed tones of something in the mine. Something worse than their cursed sheriff. Something even the Indians fear. Tired of running, Harley falls in love with a local widow with secrets of her own. But when Nora's posse arrives seeking vengeance, the stage is set for a showdown with unimaginable horrors from the deepest pits of hell. And every secret will be exposed. Eisner winner Mike Barron and acclaimed illustrator Pat Broderick present one of the weirdest westerns that Comic Dom has ever seen. Bronze Star, a thrilling tale of love, revenge, and supernatural terror from the minds of two legendary creators. It's not the monster you're looking for. Order your copy at bronzestarcomic.com.
Introducing Discord, Atlanta's newest superhero from award-winning author C.S. Johnson. With musical powers that enable him to hear the unique song of each individual soul, Discord has spent the last decade honing his skills and training to take down his father's killer. But Discord isn't just fighting for justice. He's also using his powers to go after human traffickers and put an end to their heinous crimes. Get this 30-page full-color comic today.
Get ready for an exhilarating journey into the boundless world of imagination. Welcome, comic book enthusiasts, to the extraordinary realm of Out of Obscurity. This groundbreaking anthology, published by Arrow Comics, unveils a legion of aspiring creators, each eager to leave their mark on the industry. Prepare to be captivated as they breathe new life into obscure public domain characters, creating their own unique tales within the pages of this awe-inspiring collection. Out of Obscurity is a testament to the unwavering passion and creative prowess of these emerging talents. They have meticulously resurrected forgotten heroes and heroines, spinning intricate yarns that span the ages. Brace yourself for action-packed battles, mind-bending mysteries, and heartwarming triumphs that will transport you to uncharted territories of excitement. By supporting our Fund My Comic campaign, you become an essential part of this historic endeavor. Together, we can catapult these aspiring creators towards their dreams of comic book glory. Join us on this epic odyssey and witness the birth of new legends. Your generous contributions will not only help us bring Out of Obscurity to life, but also grant you access to exclusive rewards, including remarkable artwork, signed copies, and behind-the-scene glimpses. Embrace the spirit of adventure, for within these pages, untold wonders await. Together, let us ignite the spark of greatness within these visionary talents and redefine the landscape of the comic book universe. Be a part of history and make Out of Obscurity a reality.
Hatch is not your average cartoon character. Far from it. Hatch lives on a remote asteroid far out in space and has no knowledge of anywhere else. His day compounds bewilderment with disbelief as his life unfolds before him. A life he marvels at, embraces, and is ultimately frustrated by, albeit in a comedic way. This 100-page, full-colour, annotated edition of Hatch not only boasts an in-depth interview with creator Glenn B. Fleming as he takes us through the evolution of this lovable character, but also presents previously unseen original artwork from the Hatch archive. All this, along with the creator's annotation and anecdotes, make this book a must for the connoisseur of sequential art.
I told that moron not to take out my Tchaikovsky tape. No matter, let's get started. Here we are, Nancy Moon. The last time we left our heroine, she had just joined my esteemed colleagues at level M. And the soldier who cannot stop talking, a magician with money issues, and a vampire with a checkered past. But there are other teammates she has yet to meet. One in particular might be a little bit shocking for her. I do hope she's not allergic. Back it today, won't you? Like right meow.
Smell your blunder. We are the sickness that corrupts your soul. FBI, open up!
It's supposed to feel.
criminals are gone. When the Titan is en route, never fear the power of justice in your midst. 'Cause this is Captain Aura, his force is hard as bricks. Captain Aura saves the day, the wicked always run away. Captain Aura saves the day, the prison with the bad guy in. Titans fight, fight, fight.
We know our enemy. We've seen behind the curtain. And they have a weakness. An Achilles heel.
They are arrogant and completely underestimate what they are up against. They forget who the Game Master is. They forget how wise this old demon can be. So, let's see who among them survives this killing field.
Greetings, I'm Chris Tamulevich, creator, writer, and artist for The Great Cyclopean. If you're new to The Great Cyclopean, you've stumbled across the most original superhero of the 21st century. The Great Cyclopean, known to his friends as Peter, is a deaf and mute extraterrestrial who is gifted with a blossoming array of super abilities. At the tender age of 19, he struggles with commitments he's made to the U.S. government while dealing with all the ups and downs of becoming his own man. In issue 6, the Great Cyclopean stands his ground and has to battle his mentor, Captain Aura. Getting the upper hand, Cyclopean finds that there's a team of superpowered government assassins who have come to take his life. Deceived and betrayed, Cyclopean faces his greatest challenge yet. Will Captain Aura help take down the Great Cyclopean, or will he side with his pupil? Find out in issue 6 of of the Great Cyclopean. Lock in and lock on, only on funmycomic.com.
It's the 30-minute pre-show. Got projects with a deep flow. Hold your eyes and take a look. Check 'em out and back a book. It's the half-hour pre-show. Free promo radio show. Something old and something new. Comics made for me and you. Are you ready, baby? Let's do this. He's an alien from outer space. He crashed to Earth and he's here to stay. He's here to make all the wicked pay. Every bad guy fears his name, the Great Cyclopean. The one-eyed guy with the sharpest mind. The hero with the fingers always spouting signs. A rising star with a blinding shine. Give him a chance, he's gonna blow your mind. The Great Cyclopean. A great Cyclopean. A great Cyclopean. A great Cyclopean.
Hello. My muted wife, how art thou? Oh,
Hello.
you sound-
I was reading all about Eric. Look at all the books that man has written.
I
I'm
told
so
you.
impressed. I thought they were
I'm looking-
comic books, but he's not. He's a writer.
Yes, he's a writer.
Hmm.
He writes books.
Why, thank you, sir.
For what? Pointing out the
telling
obvious?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just yeah. Hang on, I'm gonna add this to the stage, but I'm gonna mute it so I can get it to where we want it. That's fine, but that's not what we're looking for. There's Trolls Exposed.
Yeah.
That's available by. Okay, so here we go. I'll play the Eric video for you one more time, okay?
Thank you.
All right, hang on. I got to pull it back a little because the volume got turned down. Eric Tamburino.
Oh my gosh, that looks amazing. I'm definitely going to get that. I love it, right?
Yeah. What's your microphone set to tonight?
Um,
I guess it's that thing up there. That's better though. You were getting a lot of hiss. Now it's gone.
Okay. Okay. How about now? Is that
Yeah,
better?
that's perfect. Yeah, way better.
I had to move it over. Do you like my beautiful cloak? This is my
I do. It
heating
looks like
pad.
a pizza. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's for my neck. Because I can't seem to just be normal. And
So I got to meet Eric Tamburino.
we did. I know.
Yeah.
He's a striking young lad, if I do say so myself. Seems like
Yes,
a really
and
good guy.
I highly recommend people check out his books.
Mhm. They actually look very amazing.
Yeah, that trailer was awesome too.
Mhm.
You know what? I asked him where it was, and I didn't really get a chance to talk to him about it.
Right.
About where to find the video, and then I went looking for it, and there we go. Once again, I took it from another server. It's fine. It looks great. So we got a big weekend coming up. Cyclopean 6. I got to talk about that because
Yes,
honestly, I'm blown away. I'm stunned. I can't thank our backers enough, and we have to get some stretch goals up there because as it is, I'm already going to have to add a stretch goal for 500, which they blew away already.
I know it's ridiculous. We don't even have the stretch goals up. But
we are at $645 with 30 days to go. And folks, I encourage you to back this project. Get in and get ready because it's going to ship in November. You'll have it in time for Christmas. And yeah, I do recommend this as one way cool gift for kids of all ages, really. I mean, this thing is incredible and we're just getting more and more excited. I'm not going to bore you with all the details right now because I have a whole hour to do that. And you've already watched some of the pre-show stuff. So just know we are very thankful and humbled, and we're thinking about what the stretch goal should be. We had a pretty cool ensemble of stretch goals last time.
Yes, we did.
How do we top it? We got to go looking for some cooler stuff.
We've got some good stuff, though. I mean, I like the thing we're talking about. I think it's going to be.
Yeah, that thing we're talking about.
Yeah. So Timothy, yes, issue 6 is out already.
Yeah.
It is issue,
Well, see, issue 7 is actually halfway done. I've been keeping a pace up now.
Yeah.
And the craziest thing is happening because I'm finding my groove. It's really
in September. We did it in September. We fulfilled in September.
Yep. Issue 5 is fulfilled. We're on 6. While Trolls is still up on Fun My Comic, it's in a storefront. That'll always be there. Cyclopean, we're going to keep grinding out, and we'll just offer combo packs each time until we get 12, and then we'll do a trade book of it, which will be incredible. That'll be hardcover and soft cover. We'll be able to charge a pretty penny for such a collection. But that's not necessarily the goal. It's just, I want to get one out there. I want a real trade. I've got a couple already, but I want one with some quality stuff. And I was thinking about this, between Trolls and Mangai Yoshokin, I spent about 320 pages away from Cyclopean. And I say it like that because it's more than, it's not about the time, it's about how many pages. Yeah, Tim, I did that. Yeah, you just had one up. Yeah.
So no, I'm reading. Poor Tim's going. What are you? It's not like that. It's not a one up. Chris is just really fast, and in all honesty, he's crazy. Like, I don't get it either.
Well, and I got to be honest, okay? I got to actually hang out with the fella that I grew up with. I got to hang out with Captain Aura just a couple of weeks ago, last week. But I've been talking to him, and the whole. I hate to say this because it makes it sound weak, but I thrive on encouragement. And Captain Aura is so excited about the book that it literally, it's literally lit my fire. Yep. I can't tell you guys how much. Well, maybe I can, because there's mostly creators in here right now. You understand when you get encouragement, how it fires you up. Well, I'm a machine in the sense that I write, draw, and color and letter. So when I'm fired up, all those gears start spinning. And it's like, so I'm going to bed most nights about 9 o'clock. I'm waking up about 1. Stay up until about 3 doing various artwork. Go to sleep until about 6. If I'm working that day, I have until 7:30. If I'm not working, I just start going until I take a nap sometime in the day, because when I'm not working, it's easy to do. But it's just the grinding wheel has started, and well, I can't keep up with you, Tim. You got too many workers. I'm just one guy, but I don't know if we can sell more books. I'll hire somebody, and we'll try to keep up with Velvet Comics, because your pace is just as incredible, bro. It's and it's really important, I think, that we show people that we're behind our characters. They're getting established. They will be established, and they're going to be here for years to come. The Great Cyclopean, we can feel it. Like, there's a buzz in the air. We have a comic book show this weekend of our own, doing our own organization.
With our
It's the
community
Hero
library.
It's the Hero Shack in Athol Library Comic Book Fest.
Mm-hmm.
The second annual.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited.
I am too. I've been working hard with the my co-helper and from the library, and we are very excited about it. We're very
Not
excited.
to totally dox or anything, but Emily is wonderful. That's her first name, and she's a very hard worker, a very hard organizer, and honestly, I must say, a talented graphic artist. Now, if Diana wasn't muted, she would agree with me, but look at her. She thinks that's funny. She's like, "How did I do that?" I'm guessing you hit the wrong key or something.
I have no idea. I'm talking
So that
away.
thing around Diana's neck is a pizza, and she's wearing it because she has
It's
very
my
sore
cloak.
neck.
It's actually a heating pad because I either slept wrong or I probably did too much work on Monday, and my trapezius muscle on my left side is flared up and I'm in a lot of pain. My knees feel good though. The rest of me feels great. And of course, it's 2 days before this big show where I have to do a lot of work. And yeah, okay.
Well, we'll figure it out.
And it's because I live with Chris, so he's a big pain in the neck. Ha ha ha. That was supposed to be funny.
How was that?
That was a really weird laugh, but okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I can do that all night. It's kind of fun to do.
Yaka, yaka, yaka.
You got to kind of back it up in your throat and let it back
No,
out.
I can't. I'm not going to do
So
that.
anyways, with that said, guys, if
Mhm.
anybody out there wants to jump in, the link is at the top of, jump in with the book, I meant. The link for the book is at the top of the chat, in the pinned chat. But we will be opening up the stream in a minute. I'm trying to make sure
Mhm.
we covered everything.
Yes, I know.
So the one thing I can say is having 5 just delivered, promoting 6 right now, and doing 7.
Mhm.
I keep forgetting where the book's cut off.
Right.
So I have to say I have a very special guest coming in 7. It's a parody guest, and
Yep.
we're having a blast with him. Very, very big star of another comic book company. And it's getting more risky to do it, but I'm not stopping now because it's written and it's set in paper. So
It's set in
coming
paper,
whether-
not stone, huh?
Yeah, so watch for the hints. There are hints to who it is in issue 6, but of course, issue 6 hasn't come home to roost yet. So until people get that, they won't even begin to get the hints. But it's hinted to in 6, and in 7, I'm actually drawing it up right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool. I can't wait. I have consulted a couple of other people, a couple of other creators to make sure
Mhm.
that it's in good taste and it's not, it's not derogatory, but I think it's funny. I get the humor.
You're funny.
And hopefully it's received well in Cyclopean. The story doesn't the story needed a character to do what the parody character is doing, so
Yeah.
he fits. But I don't know. I have a lot of fun. I just haven't had this much fun in a while.
I know, and I'm not going to say anything, but I know that you're building this up. But we haven't even gotten 6 out yet, and you're already talking about 7.
Well,
You realize
that's
that?
a problem because, and I have to apologize to all you people out there who are used to, creators who do a lot of shows. We will do some shows to promote 6. We have 30 days. This is longer than the last campaign.
Mhm.
But man, I have a hard time because I'm not like, for instance, I'm not a writer where I write up like a bunch of stories for the next 6 months, and then I can promote, continuously on shows every day and do streams every day and all that.
Mhm.
Because I'm actually doing the work that's going to be sold, next month or the month after.
Right.
The goal is to actually have a book out every 2 months.
Mhm.
And by doing 30 days on this one, I actually gave myself the little stretch of time there.
Mhm.
And I can't wait to do the 21 again. We'll probably do that with issue 7 because that'll bring up the end of the year. And then I'll rotate it just like that because it seems to be a good group.
So this is a 12 issue. The Great Cyclopean is 12 issues, right? Story arc.
Now, at the end of 12 issues,
Mhm.
I'm going to continue going, but I may add a byline to the title. I have an idea where I want to take it. I just have to
Yeah.
see if the characters are willing to go there.
Okay.
Now, you may laugh at that, but the story,
No.
I'm going to make a video explaining how I write, but I have a basic idea.
Yeah.
And then as I go, the way I create, if I see something else happening, I let it happen. So,
Right.
for instance, there's a point in issue 5 where the
Mhm.
characters actually started writing the scene away from what I had intended.
Right.
And it was smooth and it was consistent. And so I let it ride and it affected everything else as we went down the stream. Now, some writers would go berserk about that, but because I'm also the artist,
Mhm.
it's a pretty smooth sell. I don't have to work too hard. I just have to get it by you. And usually, so far, it's been pretty cool because the surprise is I get to see how the reader actually takes it.
True. That is true. I'm sorry. I'm
Well,
adjusting my.
Yeah, you know what? Tim just said this bit, and this is true. But that's why the foundation has to be the same. But like when I get a whim, I might put an addition on to the house or an extra story, or maybe it's just a new porch.
I don't know what he's going to do, but whatever it is, it's going to be amazing, I feel. So, one of the characters is going to do a Marv. What's a Marv?
I was going to ask the same thing. I'm not
Like
sure.
a Marvel thing? Like,
No, not a Marvel thing. I don't think a Marv. I don't know.
I know. It's crazy,
So,
right?
can you think of anything I've forgotten? Oh, here's something for the chat. We're thinking about we're doing a metal card set, another 9-card metal card set, but we're thinking about doing it 2-sided. The thing is, if we do it 2-sided,
Right.
it literally doubles the price, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it's worth it.
Right.
So if you guys have any thoughts on that.
So currently we do it at what, 25?
Yeah, and it's going to jump it up to at least 40 if we're going to make no money on it at all.
Right.
So I'll give you guys a hint about the parody character, unless Tim wants to take a guess without a hint. That's kind of like the Wheel of Fortune without any letters on the board.
And I'm flattered.
No, sir. So let's see. What's one of the hints I can give, honey?
I don't know.
He is an indie comic book parody. He is not a parody of Marvel, DC, or Image.
Yeah.
In fact, he is published by a fairly recently formed company. That's
way.
one hint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Can
we
you
can't
go-
talk about it anymore. Nope. Because you're going to end up spilling the beans and it's going to ruin the whole thing, I feel.
It won't ruin the whole thing. We don't have enough viewership to ruin the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, people will watch this after. Moving back.
Yeah, but our relatives don't count.
Not our relatives.
Watching it on your phone doesn't count.
So you've talked about campaign 6. We've talked about the comic book
issue
fest. We're
7
very excited.
Hang on.
7
issue
you're
7 is
already
on
done.
page 9. No, it's on page 9. The comic book
9.
show is what? Saturday opens
10
at
to
10?
3. 10 to 3.
10 to
yeah.
3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we have such wonderful things as we have caricatures. We have cosplay. We have
Yes,
the
we have
world's
our
most
very
incredible
first.
obstacle course. We have an obstacle course.
It's a hero obstacle course. I'll have you know.
A hero obstacle course.
Yes. Yes. So stop it. Picking on me.
Ah, yes, the Marv. So Marv is an interesting concept, but no. One of the characters. So, oh, honey, help me. So the guest star parody is brought in when the woman who owns the river house calls her brother and says, I need help. Get here now. And he says, I'm retired. I don't want to do this. And she threatens to call mama if he doesn't come help.
Mm-hmm.
And he insists he's not going to wear the tights again.
Yep.
I will dominate the no. So it's funny because I am very much like this is a comic book thing, and Diana has had to do a hard sell on this obstacle course because I'm like, it's not comic books, and she's like, but it's comic book related. It's for kids, and I'm like, kids need comics, not obstacle courses.
He
But
doesn't get it, but it's okay.
It is okay because they're going to
Chris
do
will
it anyway.
dominate.
I'm gonna smile. I won't have a hard time with it or anything. I'm just like,
Oh.
I would
It'll be
vastly
fun.
prefer. I would vastly
We have,
prefer.
you know
and
what
I'll
I'm
be up
really,
there.
you know what I'm really excited about though, honestly, is I'm excited that we have 2 of our coworkers who are going to be running the obstacle course, and I'm very excited about that.
That is cool,
you know,
especially since one of them is a fan of Cyclopean.
yeah.
And he actually gives me a lot of great feedback one-on-one talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
You tried to get Clark Kent to show up. Hey, I don't even have to push them because they all like me. They'll get out of my way. I'll be like, let me
Oh my
win.
gosh.
I'm fat.
Oh my gosh, you're so bad.
Actually, to be
Seriously.
honest, because they're kids, they would have fun and beat me like twice. They would lap me and then go again through.
Yeah, they'd be pushing you.
Yeah, they would because, you have to have fun with the kids. Yeah, but Terry, that would be DC. It's not DC. It's an indie comic. A well-known indie comic. Very well-known. Some would say even controversial, which is why I'm making a parody of it because it's a lot of fun. Diana's going, you're getting too close to the heartbeat, Chris. Too close. It's okay. There's only 3 viewers according to the chart.
It doesn't matter. It
So
doesn't
guys,
matter.
all of this is between you and us.
And anybody else that's going to watch it.
Okay, if you watch this, can you just write us and let us know? Drop a message in the chat afterwards because you can still put messages. Ooh, the Binkler. We should do that. But no, it's not the Buckler. Actually, the Buckler, I would contact Dillard and see if he'd let me do a cameo. Same with you, Tim. I would do the same thing with Melvin. This is like I definitely have to do this on the parody because I'm making fun of a situation, and it's all in good parody fun. It's not meant to be malicious or anything. Not at all.
It's all like good parody fun, huh?
I'm actually a customer of the independent comic creator.
I see.
Question.
Yes. Shh, shh, shh. That's what they're telling you. Shh, shh, shh. He's saying, don't.
That's not what he's saying. He's saying, shush, shush, Chris. You have a yes from me, Chris. The Canadian Shield. No, I would also go to Rick. And honestly, I'm a little worried. I haven't heard or seen Rick lately.
He's got a lot of stuff going on. Rick, you're out
I'm just
there.
praying that he's good.
Hello.
Keep him in your prayers, guys.
Mhm.
That's our brother in Christ. Got to keep him in prayer.
Yeah.
So I just dropped the StreamYard link. Nobody came in, so that's cool. It's a live show, baby. Say something.
Right. Well, you've been talking. You take away. You kind of go and talk, and then I was like, "What am I supposed to say?" Because you're talking, and my neck hurts.
I could just keep talking if you want.
Yeah, you can. I don't really have anything to say because you've already said so much. My head is
What do you
spinning.
mean I've said so much? Hey, look.
You don't. You just talk all the time.
We have a friend to help.
Thank goodness.
Shh, Chris. Zip it.
How are you, brother?
I'm all right.
I'm all right.
Nobody worry about me.
Kenny Loggins, baby.
Oh my gosh.
That
Terry's
movie
back.
made Caddyshack.
Oh,
Well, what you know?
hey, how are you, Terry?
Terry.
Yeah.
I mean, like the
That's
end,
funny.
the end of the movie where that gopher pops up and they start playing the music and those credits start rolling. Best part of the movie.
Yeah, as cheesy as that was, it worked, which was bizarre because I should have hated that.
Most people do.
You know what I mean, though? That movie was so crazy that it worked.
Everything about it worked.
Yep. Oh, good. Rick was on yesterday, according to Tim. Thank you, Tim, for responding in the chat. That's wonderful.
Yeah, he was on. He was on yesterday.
Good.
He's probably not going to be on as often until he's getting stuff figured out. I think.
Right.
That's what I kind of feel.
Yeah, that makes sense though.
Yeah. He's going to end up coming up like roses. You know, he's going to be all right. God is good.
Yep. For sure.
I think he's.
We have to give him time to grieve.
Exactly, and that's a whole process. People different for everybody, you know.
Well, I mean, this is huge because I mean, like, this is like a new chapter, and
yeah, it is. Yep. You know,
Heck, it might even be a whole new book because when you lose a mother, particularly, it's earth shattering. Diana and I both lost our mothers, and like I just stepped back and let him do his thing because that's the best thing I think you can do is just give them space. If they need you, they'll talk to you. But you know, I was like, okay, don't rush in, don't say anything stupid, because you want to say everything, but it's like, how do you help someone when you know only they and God know what they're going through?
Right. I mean, the best thing you can do is offer advice. Like I sent him a link for People Ready while he's looking for work. I mean, People Ready, you can get a job right away, and it's temp work, but
right,
a little something while you're looking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we don't know what's available in Canada. I just hope that like it's supposed to be a great country, so I hope that they don't let my brother down. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I don't know how good they are, but I'll tell you what, Mr. Trudeau, if you F up, we know where you live. It's on the news.
Oh my gosh, Chris.
We'll come knocking and knocking.
We'll kick you right in your Canadian acorns.
Oh my gosh.
In
you
Minecraft.
guys.
No, I would not kick him in Canadian acorn. Tim doesn't mean testicles either. He means Canadian acorns. But we love Canadian acorns. They promote Canadian trees.
Stop it. Oh my gosh. Stop.
They do. What do you think acorns do?
So what have you guys been up to? What's everybody been up to? We haven't.
Oh,
really...
besides, let's see, Melvin 3 is like formatted and ready to go.
Good.
I'll probably do a test run. Melvin 0 is being lettered right now.
Nice.
So
that's
about
awesome.
like what about like
lettering
10,
is
9?
actually the next. I want to make a jump in lettering, so I'm going to change programs. But you have like a real letterer.
Yeah, well, I mean, Rob's lettering Melvin 0.
I like his work.
Oh yeah, he's the best.
Well, I don't know, but I like his work. Lettering
He's
is
very
funny
good at it. Yeah, he's
Well,
good.
what I mean by that, and I don't mean to belittle anybody, but like I was freaked out. Like Ed Dukeshire, who's a pretty substantial mainstream letterer, is someone that I worked with as a kid in a warehouse, and I was like blown away. So like it made me realize letterers are almost like a different beast because like while I can draw, I don't really have the patience for hand lettering right now. And I have to learn that because I want to do hand lettering as well. But when I get in there and I'm like, wow, I just pick a font and I type it out and I put it in a balloon and boom, it's done. I want to try to like at least do a few issues of hand lettering stuff. Maybe it won't even be in Cyclopean. It might be on a side project.
Well, I mean, it's a little more than just using letters. I think there's like the way you space it and the way you.
Yeah, it's the layout of the balloons, which I'm getting better at, but there is the layout. And one of the benefits of having Diana as my editor is because she doesn't really have a comic book
background
pedigree. Yeah, background.
Mm-hmm.
When she reads something and she finds it difficult to find the balloons, that's my cue to make the adjustments to make it more flow in a way that her eye is following it, which has really helped the readability. I've noticed most people seem to get it better after she's gone through and made me realize, oh, I can't use that corner of the box because their eye is diverted right to this one, and things I'm not aware of. Because when I look at a panel, I go through the whole panel.
Yeah.
Like as a comic book reader, I look for every balloon in the panel before I move on. But Diana, as a simple eye to she goes to the next, natural balloon.
Did somebody drop out?
Drop out where?
You mean, did Terry drop out?
Yeah, Terry dropped out.
Yeah, unfortunately he did. Let me see if he's back yet. I don't think he is. So yeah, okay. So I didn't miss him or anything. I mean, I miss him. Oh gosh, Terry, it's great to see you, but he's not sitting back there. Waiting on me to let him in.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Where is everybody?
No, I don't know if you saw it, but a week or so ago, some guy named Rat Trap who works for who does reviews for Metal's website did a review of Melvin 1 and 2.
Nice.
How'd it go?
Pretty good. I actually read it 4 times.
That's great.
Well, I have to tell you, okay?
What?
Your art, and or at least your choice in artists, with no offense to the earlier ones, it just seems to get better and better. And that I don't know.
Oh, that's true.
If you're getting better at instructing them, or if they're just a higher caliber, or what. But bravo on that. Big bravo.
Yeah. It was. I think the best part about the review is everything. He said it's everything right about the book is also everything wrong about the book.
Right.
So really?
You kind of get okay, what especially when it tries to be more than it. So I think basically when it starts getting a little too wordy in some places.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
I
was like, that's fair. That's fair.
But that's
this is your first series ever, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Did you ever do any comics before this?
Not successfully, no.
No, I mean on your own, just goofing off.
I used to make comic books, but they were never really good.
So for 2 years, I did Hero Shack as a comic.
Yeah.
And I did, the first one was Sandbox, and the second year was In Search of Heroes. And if you go back and look at that, which is my earliest work, I have what they call word walls. It's something you have to learn, and I'm sure you're getting it now because you're talking about that. But yeah, there's such a thing as word walls where the reader just disengages, and it doesn't matter if you wrote the next book of scripture, they are not going to go through that huge balloon or set of boxes you set up. Or even now, I find myself in proofreading my own stuff. I'll start slashing whole sentences. It's get rid of that, get rid of that. I already said that 3 pages ago. Because I got to remember the reader doesn't need their handheld. If you tell them something, most of them are going to remember it,
Yeah.
But I used to handhold everything, So if someone's making a sandwich, I'd tell them 3 times. Ed took the white bread. Ed took the white bread and put bologna on it. Ed took the white bread and the bologna and put cheese on. Why are you saying that all
over again?
Yeah, it's no, Chris, knock it off.
Sounds like you're giving instructions on how to speak English or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because I think Stan Lee overwrote a lot of stuff in the old days, and I loved it, but it's still something in my heart and nature. I can draw a panel where I'm showing everything, and I'm still tempted to go, and the hero put down the hammer and prepared for the war. Well, that's obvious. You can see what he's doing. What the hell are you writing? But that's what Stan used to do. He'd overwrite the panels. Just saying.
Well, that was before he had to write 60 books per month.
Yeah. I hope to have that problem someday.
That's when he came up with the Marvel method.
Okay, so this is the first section. The first part of the review. He says Melvin is simple, in a line with old pulp comics like Conan the Barbarian and Xeno, I don't know, something Tales. The simplicity is his greatest strength, but also to one of its biggest problems.
Hey, speaking of problems, I got 99, but Rick ain't one of them. Here,
Hey,
Hey.
hey, sorry, I'm late.
Hi.
Party. I
Oh,
was playing Scribbattle.
Cool.
Don't apologize. It's cool.
I like this one. Melvin is no powerhouse when it comes to storytelling, and it shouldn't be. It lacks the complexity that brings it a step above its contemporaries, and that's a quality it should take full advantage of. Though with that said, its strength is also the reason why it falters when writing tries to do more than it should.
I had to look at that tablet, man. I'm sorry.
Huh.
That's sweet, brother.
That's pretty good, though. I mean, he's giving you some honest to goodness feedback, which is something you can use.
Yeah, he is.
He's not coming out going, yeah, your book really stinks and you can't write. He's like, no, these are some things that, and that's the kind of critique I always appreciate.
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
I as well.
There's Mom. What you doing with her? You looking at her?
No, I just put her on that. Well, I put her on my desktop.
Oh, I love that.
That's the tablet, babe.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's huge, Rick. Oh my gosh.
That is a huge tablet. Yeah.
Actually, it's only 15.4.
Well, anyway,
12.9.
Anyway,
That's awesome.
it's big enough.
Yeah.
So, Tim, I know you were talking about your review.
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna say, just closes by saying overall, Melvin gets better. I know how that sounds, but trust me though, the problems still show up in issue 2, the second issue. It makes such a remarkable improvement that first issue looks like a first draft.
Good.
So here's the key, right? Is to keep going and somehow like resist the urge to go back and mess with your old stuff if you can. Because everybody, no offense, Rick, everybody likes to redo it, but like keep some of that original. Because if you can really show the journey, I think that's neat as hell.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go back to anything else. It's just I knew I was going to have to reprint Canadian Shield 1. There was some things that I wasn't really quite satisfied with the coloring, so I figured I'd redo it. And since I'm redoing the coloring, maybe I'd retweak the art just slightly, here and there. And, it probably delayed me printing some new ones a little bit. But it's done. I'm satisfied with number 2. Well, yeah, there's things that maybe I would like change. I'm satisfied with Snowdrift 1. Again, there might be some tiny minor things. The only thing I'm going to correct for number 2 and number 1 is spelling errors and stuff like that, or I might just slightly readjust the layout so when it's printing, it's not quite as close to the edge or whatever.
Right.
But other than that,
do you realize how much I've cheated that the entire time I've been making Cyclopean? I rarely use a white border on the outside. I almost always bleed off the page.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good or bad. I like
depends on the type of story you're telling. So it can be a good thing.
It's just weird. Whenever I put in the white border, I feel like I've robbed myself of real estate. I'm like, man, that's like 1/8 of an inch I could draw on, man.
Yeah. Well, I get that, but it's sometimes
it's kind of like an expected formula for comics.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, there's a lot of comics nowadays that just do the whole page. But the thing you got to be careful with that is when you do that, yeah, you're getting the whole page, if you will, but some of your art can be cut off too.
Exactly.
I kind of dig when my art's cut off. And I know that sounds crazy, but like a good full bleed, like who can I compare it to other than John Byrne? But like he would just I swear he would draw the best things, like so that when it was off the page, you're like, man, I want to see it, and it made you want to know what it was there.
Yeah,
just because I still look at his stuff and drool.
Yeah, I guess what I just thinking is you got to make sure that that what you want on the page is there for sure.
Right. Well, in layout, you got to be careful of that.
Yeah, especially when you're getting close to that edge part, the bleeds and all that.
Yeah. Fortunately, I actually do follow the grid system for the safe zones. The only time I ever have issues is the print system we use is very sensitive to any type outside that zone. So if you put like lettering of like a word effect and try to bleed the word effect off the page, you got to do it just right, or else it'll like trigger it and tell you there's an error.
Yeah.
It's bizarre, bro. It's like I've had issues come back.
Especially if that falls somewhere in the middle of the book where it goes bleed into the center of it.
Yeah.
That will be a problem.
Yeah.
However, when I put it in 2-page spreads, I can work it easier. Like it gets fooled with 2-page spreads. But if I like put like a POW and I have the P drift off to the left of the page off to the reader's hand, it sometimes will detect the P as a letter and say, "Oh, warning! You have a word bleeding outside the safe area." Oh my goodness! Right. It's like, oh, why did I put that there?
That's the thing about sound effects is that they're all words, and it's going to really mess with a computer.
Well, that's when you just draw it in yourself.
Right.
Yeah, if you put it in the artwork or
right.
Actually, this is so sensitive. Sometimes what I do is it's just a matter of like putting a filter on it so it kind of bleeds in the artwork enough that the algorithm doesn't sense it.
Right.
But it's just bizarre some of the things I've run into with printing through like online digital vendors.
Yeah.
So what else is happening, guys? I'm psyched about 7. And after 7, we get this one parody character coming in and out. There's a lot of cool stuff coming. Forevertron is going to be fleshed out, and people will understand more about him.
Wait, what's it called? Forevertron?
Yeah, Forevertron's been around since Cyclopean 1. He is the guy with the big yellow triangle head.
Oh.
He's actually he's like a mechanical. I don't want to call him cyborg or robot, but he's kind of like a robot. He began being created back in the 16th century, and he started off as a little mechanical widget. And over the centuries, the wizards have added to him consistently because he can handle all the rigors of magic. He doesn't have to deal with human morals or guidelines. He just follows the spell. He does it and gets it done. So in a sense, he's Sorcerer Supreme because he can do what a human can't.
No.
And, so a lot of stuff he does for the better of mankind, but it's often not so great for the short term, which we, of course,
you do know what you just did, right?
Or what he believes is the betterment of humankind.
Yes.
No. He just created the precursor to Skynet.
Yes, in a sense, yes. But it involves magic. And the logic,
it doesn't matter. That's the whole point. It doesn't matter.
No, but when I thought of this character, I got wicked excited because I was like, actually, it happened after watching Doctor Strange, the first one. And I was thinking, man, humans are so susceptible. Like they get a whiff of a demon who seduces them into power, and all of a sudden they're a dark force just eaten alive. And I was thinking, if I was Doctor Strange, I would get Ultron, and I would program him to be the supreme sorcerer, and he could take all the rigors of magic, and no demon would have any chance against him because,
like,
yeah. So that was where the thought of the character came from.
That's where the idea came from.
Yeah. But he's important because he's actually going to help reveal the final pieces of the Cyclopean puzzle. And that all comes up in issue 12. That's all finished by 12. And then we get a new chapter.
Cool. And then you can do like an omnibus or
exactly. Trade. Yeah. A trade is what they call them these days. I still like omnibus, but everybody's
an omnibus has more books in it.
More pages.
Yeah.
See, I'm doing a trade. I'll be doing a Melvin 0 through 3 as collection 1.
Well, didn't you say the arc goes up to like number 4 or 5, the first arc?
The first arc, yeah.
So you probably want to do a trade once it's at 5.
Curse you. Curse you for being right.
Yeah, you would because you don't want to publish the trade and cut off the story midway.
Yeah. And I'm not even sure whether you'd want to include 0 because it's not really part of the story.
I disagree.
It's sort of his origins, as you were saying.
Yeah. It just would seem incomplete without that book in there.
Yeah. Well, it's up to you. I'm just,
And actually, I decided to shorten it to 4. 4 is going to be like two issues in one kind of worth of pages.
A double-sized, king-sized issue?
Yes, indeedy. Indeedly doodly.
I remember Marvel used to do the king size. And I would get so excited. I'd see it on the rack, and it would, at the very top, it would have like king size. And I would be like, ha ha, I'm a king today. And I would buy that book, and I would go home, and it would take twice as long to go through it. I was so happy with those.
Yeah. So I got to ask Mighty Geek a question. Why did you type the Canadian Shield in the chat?
We were guessing the parody character.
Yeah, I have a parody character coming in 7.
Okay.
I have a feeling it's going to be
And the clue is it's from an indie comic.
Oh.
It's going to be Melvin. I know.
It's going to be Cyberfrog.
No.
Well, if we're talking
I would love to.
If we're talking controversial, Cyberfrog wouldn't be it.
Yeah, well, I would love to play with Cyberfrog, but I've already upset Ethan once in my lifetime. I don't want to do that more than once. He's a very different kind of guy, and I want to show him all the respect in the world and let him have New Jersey, and I'll take the rest of the world. That's fine.
Yeah, but just because you do a parody of something doesn't mean you dislike it. Sometimes
I agree, and in this case, I especially don't have a problem with the character at all. But with Ethan, I just would prefer to avoid him.
Yeah. Well, it's not like anybody. I don't think it would even put you on his radar. But
yeah, I just don't want to risk it. So
Well, it's like this: if you do it, he might thank you for it.
Yeah, but then again, it actually could work more in your favor.
It could.
Because then you get him talking about you and people wanting to check it out.
All right, well, let me say this. This character is at least on par with Cyberfrog.
Okay.
And some would say far greater.
Is it Frog G?
Oh, the Isom.
Nah, not Isom. Can't be Isom.
Well, I mean, Isom is kind of a controversial character.
Because if it's an indie character, well, I guess it could be Spawn. Depends on what you consider indie.
No image.
No image.
Yeah, image is the realm of McFarlane and Savage Dragon's guy there, and even Rob.
Eric Larson.
But like I said, it depends on what you get.
Larson, Liefeld, and McFarlane. Now that Jim Lee has sold everything to DC.
Not even Rob Liefeld these days.
It depends on what you can consider indie. Like some of these bigger comic companies that aren't as big as DC or Marvel, but do you consider something that's Alterna indie?
Absolutely. Alterna is absolutely indie.
Mostly
because I've actually met Pete a few times at shows, and yeah, he's indie. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, I just mean that he's a bigger name, and although he's selling more books than like us, I'm not sure how many books they've got to be selling a decent amount of books on a regular basis to make a profit, and they're making his companies seems to be continuously growing, although we want that. I guess the question is, when do you go from being indie to being not
being mainstream? That's a good question.
I think it depends largely on the backing force. For instance, EBS, Eric July, that Umbrella guy, who else? Milkshake guy there, Jawbreaker.
Oh yeah, I know. Richard, whatever.
Right, but all those guys have made
boy Zach with the Jawbreakers.
They've made a lot of money, but they're still
Yeah.
not mainstream. You know, mainstream like you
First
can
of
walk
all,
up-
these guys will never be mainstream, and that's the way they like it.
Well, the thing is, if Ethan sort of had it his way, if he did it like he should, in my opinion, he could technically have probably a half decent sized comic company and making probably a lot more money than he is, you know. But he's not. And then
I'm gonna say this in his defense: if I could do a comic every 3 years and make 6 to 7 figures every comic, man.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But what if you can make a comic every month and get that 6 figures?
Yeah, but now you're hustling. You see, the way he's got it, it's like I sit back, I'll take attention to detail. I'll take, a week to do a page that's so intense.
Yeah,
and I love high detail, but the problem with it is, and this hurts so much to say, the reader will miss at least half as much detail as you put in.
Right.
Like they'll read right through that. And I learned that from another artist. There was a really good artist. I can't remember his name right now. That's how great he is. But he is really fantastic, like photorealism and stuff. And he said, he draws
that could be anyone from Tim Bradstreet to there's another guy that does photorealism.
If Diana comes back, she'll remember. It was an Australian fella who did a lot of work for DC cover wise. And like he said, when I do cityscapes, I got to be careful because I'll have like a whole barbecue on the porch and you can actually almost see the hot dogs on the grill. And then when they photograph it and they put it into the book, nobody notices, and I'm like, I get it.
Well, or very few notice.
Very few notice it, but
because there's some people that will, zoom in and look at all that crap.
Well, it's almost the downside of digital. Like sometimes when I put together videos, I'll zoom in on a panel and it'll show like rough edges that aren't there when they go to press. But because I'm zooming up with this video and it's like digitizing it and effing it up, it's like, oh, look at that. That looks terrible. But because it's emotion.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, because it's emotion, I can swallow it. But like, I really wish it would smooth out,
Yeah.
It's almost like that time that you had the one thing blown up super big as a background here. And I pointed out a bit of color or whatever going over there.
Yeah. But actually, that's one of the things that's changed. And between criticism about it and then really doing studies of John Byrne, the biggest thing I'm getting from Byrne is when you make mistakes, just don't do them again. So like I'm trying much, much harder on like my fingers. That's been a big attention thing the last few weeks. Feet, God bless you, God, but feet are hard to draw.
Yes, they are. Unless you're putting them in shoes or boots or something.
Even with shoes though, because like they can get funky with like the way just the triangle piece, and I just really if God takes
as long
me
as
advice
you don't
when I
have
get
to
up
draw
there,
as long as you don't have to draw the toes, it's a lot easier.
that's true. Well, that's kind of like hands though. If you're doing mittens, it's not so bad. But if you got to put those fingers in,
Yeah, but 9 times out of 10, you can draw. Most of the time, you can draw feet with shoes on. Most costumes or whatever, almost every person has some sort of footwear on. But unfortunately, most characters, you need to see all the fingers.
Beast.
Yeah.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah, well, they still got fingers. They just got actually Beast.
Rhino.
Beast has all 5. Nightcrawler, you're right, has less. I think
The
Rhino
lizard.
has all of them.
No, I'm talking about guys without shoes. I'm thinking really hard about guys without shoes. Solomon Grundy.
The Hulk.
Well, actually,
Hulk,
Solomon Grundy, I believe, has shoes. It's
Which one? Which
But-
one? Because I thought in the Super Friends he was barefoot.
It could be the more modern ones, I guess.
The more modern ones that he Solomon
But
Grundy wearing shoes, but in the Super Friends, any of the Hanna-Barbera stuff, he's not wearing shoes
But then again, I was going to say he's probably
because
got the
they use the Flintstone model for that one.
But I was going to say, even with the shoes on, usually I think they're open-toed.
Mhm.
So you still have to draw the toes.
Yeah.
Let's see who else.
Yeah,
there's
but
not
that-
a lot that don't wear boots, though. You're right. Almost every one of them is shoed. Like I'm coming to it at the edge of nothing. Like I'm sure there's probably another 50 obscure characters, but we're talking against thousands, if not millions, of superheroes with boots.
Or villains.
All villains are heroes. They're just mistakenly, judged.
Oh my god.
They're just misunderstood.
No,
There you
they're
go.
villains. Quit it. They're villains. Stop it.
No, nobody's truly evil.
Nobody's born a villain. Even the Joker admits this. Nobody's born a villain. All it
That's
takes
true.
is one bad day.
Yep. One bad day.
Well, okay, so you need a tad bit of sympathy for the villain, but you can't be too sympathetic.
Right.
Yeah, but some people they break into stores and rob because big TVs buy a lot of bread.
Well, that's what they're saying.
True.
That's their bad
Everybody's a
day.
good guy in their own life.
In their own mind, everyone's a good guy.
Yeah.
We're all the hero of our
I'm being
own
a little
story.
silly, I know. I got to be honest. I'm playing. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why. Probably because it's up around 10 o'clock, right? Yeah.
Maybe.
You have to remember, Batman's a vigilante, which technically makes him a criminal.
That's right.
Well, it depends on the rules of Gotham City, the laws.
Have you seen the new Pete Holmes Batman where Batman's firing Batman?
Yeah. I saw
Oh,
that. That was
man.
cute.
He goes, you're old. You're the dinosaur in the room. I'm like edgy, like Kurt Cobain, and the old Batman says, "Yeah, because you're dead to me."
Oh.
Ooh, that's a nice burn.
So he starts. The new Batman starts journaling at him.
Yeah.
He's like, "Are you
That's a
right?"
nice burn.
He's like, "Are you right?" He goes, "Oh, the journaling takes a lot out of me."
And then the other one responds, it takes a lot out of me. Fighting crime. Or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Do you got any snacks? Well, I have crackers. Are they what kind are they? Wheat? I'm sorry, I'm gluten free.
Oh, goodness gracious.
You guys are
Basically,
having
that-
a good thing.
You
Hey,
see-
making fun of the
You
last
see how
Batman
easy
movie.
it is to write a funny Batman story?
I think the Wonder Woman one was hilarious.
Yeah.
She's like
Well,
arm wrestle me. He goes, "That's a no from Bats." Then I
Right.
also spread word of your cowardice far and wide, which will put into your question the size of your.
Yeah, what? What?
I wonder if they're gonna do Batman fires Superman.
I would love that.
That would be fun to see.
Oh, he tried to keep Cyborg on because he wanted him to retrieve certain pictures of his ex-girlfriend who died in a barrel fire.
Mhm. Well, we all know that Bruce Wayne could fire Clark Kent anytime he wants, because he also owns the Daily Planet now.
I have a question, you guys.
Yes, dear.
No.
What do you mean no? Come on.
Let her, she got to ask first.
Okay. So
Yeah, I'm just saying no, she can't ask. But then again, it's her show. She can if she wants to, right?
True.
oh my gosh. So I have this hero obstacle course that I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
for Saturday. And
Okay.
I came up with my obstacle course ideas. I kind of came up with it and whatnot. But Chris thinks it's stupid. So
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
For kids,
So-
no, it's not stupid.
If it's for kids, no. Anything
Well,
you come up with
there's
is going to be.
so the obstacle course consists of 5 I don't know, stations or whatever you want to call them. So the participant comes up, they go through the first station, which is Superman. They're going to be on a scooter board. They're going to navigate around cones, pretend they're like,
Flying through
Yep.
the air. Yeah. Okay.
Then they get up from that and they go to the Spider-Man where they're going to throw sticky balls to a target, like Spider-Man. But I'm adding string to it. Stop it. I'm adding little pieces of string to the sticky ball so it almost looks like it's web coming out of their hand. I thought that might be fun. And then Hulk. The next station is Hulk. Hulk hands. They're going to do Hulk hands. And they have to smash the bubble wrap. Like they have to smash it. So I thought that would be fun. Kids love bubble wrap.
Oh, come on! You just made every kid's wet dream come true.
And then the other station is Captain America, and I have some little shields that I'm making up, and they're gonna throw it through like I'm gonna do a hula hoop, of course, just to
Well, yeah, you could probably just get some frisbees for that.
Yeah,
well, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm doing. Yeah. I'm making the shield, out of frisbee.
You're gonna paint the frisbee like Captain America's shield.
No, I'm not gonna paint. I'm gonna use it.
Can I make some suggestions?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Oh, God.
So this is what you should do. Superman, you should have him climb up on a 12-foot ladder.
I had.
Listen, and they have to fly. They have to jump and fly into the web hanging off the ceiling. And they grab the web with one hand and they have a shield in the other, okay? And you have them swing across the room. And on the other side of the room, you have like a brick wall made of sponge bricks, those rectangle. You have them smash through and go, "Rah, I'm Hulk." And then they take the frisbee shield and you have them throw it in someone's face. Have like the volunteers stand there and have to take it.
No.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So could I finish my obstacle course?
Yeah, you'd also get sued into. You'd also get sued in the bankruptcy.
A lot of ways, I think that would be great. But
I didn't finish it, you guys. I have one more that I need help with.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My last one is my Batman, right?
Got it.
Okay, so
wait a minute, it's been all Marvel and you jumped to Batman.
Go ahead.
Batman. The kids like Batman. So here's my
Superman,
dilemma.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh my freaking God. I am not going to talk anymore. I'm not going to
go ahead. I want to know about the Batman.
I want to know. I thought we could pin the bat signal on a city. Like, each kid would have. But that's so lame, and I would need to make a bunch of bat signals, like pin the tail on the donkey. So I can't do that. So here's my question. I'm finally getting to my question. Okay. What else could I do for the Batman station?
Actually, you can start with the Batman station.
Oh wait, since Batman's a detective, why don't you have they have to find the clue amongst the.
Oh, or maybe when they
start with the Batman station. Use the clues that go to the next that lead to the next station.
Yeah, but on the Batman station, maybe have like a set of like 4 or 5 mugshots, and they have to, with the clues, figure out who's the criminal.
Now you said with the Superman one, you've got them on some sort of scooter board going around some cones.
I got
something better to make that flash and take away the scooter board. They just can run through them.
The Batman one, make it simple. Why don't you have them solve a riddle?
Yeah.
Ooh, like the Riddler's attacking Batman.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good but bad, because once you get the one riddle, because you're only going to only have one riddle, every kid is just going to be
exactly. So if I have
wait a minute,
kids, guys.
What if you have them take a nap? So you put a full-grown Batman in a bed, and you tell Robin to get in bed and sleep.
All right. Thank you. That's all right. All right.
That's actually a joke because that actually happened in Batman.
My other thing is with Spider-Man. Is there any way you could do it more like some sort of swing from one spot to another?
No. This is in a town hall, guys.
What about Spider Sense? Spider Sense. You put like a Batman, or rather a Spider-Man blindfold on him, and then like you swing a ball from the ceiling and tell them duck.
No.
And then they have
Okay.
to successfully
Make sure
duck.
Chris
And the parents
stays
come
out of the town hall
Louis.
and keep him at your table.
But
Keep
you
them
want to
away
train
from the
them in
children.
superhero powers, right?
He's
That
trying
can
to
train them in spider sense.
No.
Oh, wait. We could get one of those like mini speakers, like Alexa, and just play music and have it swing. And then if it hits them in the head, it's their own fault because they should hear the music coming and going. You could play the Spider-Man theme. Spider-Man.
No.
What if I did like a doesn't Batman have to like crawl like through things and stuff like laser beams and whatever?
No.
Not usually.
Not usually.
What about
Depends
Oh,
on
I
the
know
villain.
what you do. Okay, so
Can you get
have 'em-
like a Nerf or a Velcro dartboard?
Like
maybe?
lasers.
Well, I
no,
was
no.
thinking-
Have him run to Catwoman, and he has to like get on one knee and propose, and Catwoman
No.
says,
See, this is what
"Nay,"
I mean, guys.
and runs
This is-
away.
Chris, you're not helping.
Christopher, you're not helping.
Chris,
I'm trying to think
that's
what
not.
Batman goes through.
He's-
Batman goes through that. Catwoman left him on the altar.
Oh, Batman usually
For
is
once
usually
upon a time,
found
but-
brooding on a rooftop somewhere, so you can start with that.
So maybe I'll just
But the
eliminate
other
Batman and
thing,
have 4 stations.
With
What if I just
Batman,
go? I think I'll just take Batman out.
well, I was also going to
Wait a minute.
suggest.
I had actually a great idea. You could why not do a game of Hangman, except for it's Batman themed.
Because it's got to be like you figure the kids it's an obstacle course, so they're going to just start it. They're going to go through it, get up, go to the next station. So I can't have too much time at one station.
Right.
I was going to. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was going to suggest. Can you get some sort of like dartboard that has like it's Velcro and the darts are like Velcro tip? They just gotta
Yeah.
shoot darts at the dartboard.
Yeah, but that's too
And
much
you
like
just paint some
Spider-Man.
darts left.
You know what you might want to do though? Do you have any crawly tubes?
Yeah.
So you could
Can
just do
you-
something stupid like pretend and say Batman has to sneak into the Batcave. You have to crawl into the back entrance, and like then just put the crawly tube down there, and they have to get through that. Ooh, it's an obstacle course.
Crawl through tunnel to get to Batcave.
Yeah.
Or crawl through the sewer. That could be
Basically, you're crawling through the sewer, which Batman has
Yeah.
been known to do.
Yeah. See, so there you go.
That's the
Okay.
best
Kids
idea
love
you
crawling.
had yet, Chris.
So yeah. All right. So if I do Batman crawls through the scooter, I mean through the
Through the
to the
sewer.
Batcave.
Yeah.
Then I'll do Spider-Man where he throws the webs at the target.
That should
What do you
be the Velcro balls.
Yeah.
And you put up like a blanket with a cityscape that's
I
got the.
have it, Chris. I bought one. I actually have a whole thing.
Ooh.
It's like round and it has like Spider-Man stuff and it's got little sticky balls that you throw at it.
Oh, you've already planned this out.
Yeah, I know. I've been thinking
No
about
wonder you
it.
don't want Superman jumping onto a spider's thing and swinging.
So that
Why would Superman need to jump onto a spider
To
web?
transform into Spider-Man, it would be a transitional period in the obstacle course. They'd have to jump like 8 feet across the room off the ladder and catch the web and swing over to the wall. Remember, that would be my obstacle course. And on the wall, they turn into Hulk.
you couldn't even complete your obstacle course, let alone a 5-year-old.
all
Yeah,
right.
but 5-year-olds
So
get a lot of energy.
guys, this is what I have. Listen, an honest opinion, okay? So the
Okay.
obstacle course, it's called the Hero Obstacle Course. Batman crawls through the sewer to get to the Batcave. Spider-Man throws sticky balls to the target. Hulk smashes the bubble wrap. Or I can do cones or like cups or something.
Bubble wrap. What does bubble wrap mean?
Bubble, you know the stuff you. Oh my god.
Yeah, right.
The
So,
stuff
like,
you-
do you have like a little sheet, a 12-inch by 12-inch sheet? They're
No, I
gonna
have.
punch, or-
I have huge volumes of it.
Okay.
Oh, you got an, oh, she probably got enough bubble wrap to
I
do this
was
thing
gonna
12
wrap
times over.
it. Like I was gonna wrap it. I was gonna check Friday if they have a pole because it's in the it's the lower section of the town hall, and I think there's some beams in the area, I was going to just wrap the bubble wrap around it and have the kids, pop it with their hands. I was going to just buy some green gloves. I can't find Hulk hands that are not more than $30, and I don't want to spend $30 on a pair of Hulk hands, So I was just going to get some green gloves and have them pretend they're Hulk. Maybe put a mask on or something. I don't know. I haven't really gotten
You don't
that.
think they're going to break their wrist on the pole?
No, it's bubble wrap. Don't you? You know what bubble wrap is? It's the stuff you put like glassware in. It's like little air pockets, and they have to pop it.
Might I suggest maybe laying down a sheet of it and making them do Hulk stomps on it?
Does Hulk stomp?
Yes.
Yeah. He jumps in the air.
He usually cracks the street when he does it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he jumps landing, so you can have them jump on it.
Yeah.
And it makes
So
like
maybe
the
I
big.
can find Hulk slippers or something.
Well, probably
Yeah,
not.
that's
but
not a bad idea.
Yeah, you might be able to, might not. But them in their shoes would probably be better because if they're in slippers, it's not probably going to pop.
Oh,
They might actually fall if it's slippery too. If it's like a
that's
velvet.
true. So they can just use their shoes. But I might do something where
Raw when they
fashion
crash
like
down.
something like a strap-on type of thing where they put it over the shoes so it looks like a Hulk foot.
A-
That might be
yeah.
kind of cute. Then I'm gonna have them go to Superman where they're gonna get on the scooter board. I'm gonna decorate the scooter board so it looks like Superman. I don't know how yet. That's my tomorrow project. And they're gonna navigate around cones, and then they're gonna get up, and they're gonna end the station with Captain America throwing the shield through the loops. They're throwing shields through the loop. Like they're gonna have probably like 4 or 5 shields so that the kid will go like. So when they started, I have to make sure that the staff who's running it know when they get to Superman, then Batman, then they start again. Like I have to time it so that they're not trampling each other because it's a one kid station.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's only one kid at a time on it. But I like the stomping better.
So the name Flash was brought up earlier, and I just wanted to say, Diane and I sat through that movie on HBO Max.
I have yet to see it.
Well,
at least you saw it for free, Chris.
I have to say, Terry, if you're a comic book fan, it will at least entertain you to the point of remember in the 80s when we got anything and you were just happy to see it. Like when you got the herky-jerky Captain Americas of the 70s and Spider-Man with the rope web shooters. It was horrible stuff, but you were just happy to see it.
Yeah.
The problem is we're so saturated that it doesn't float at all because
It's
and
one of
I'm
those.
sorry. I just
It's one of those.
I think I'm very biased too because I just don't like what's his face.
Almost, yeah.
Ezra. Yeah, and his acting was just annoying to me because he was 2 characters at the same time.
Yeah.
And I was
Well,
like,
the problem
oh.
is they just got the Flash wrong to begin with, really. So.
Yeah. And the costumes didn't look great to me. Michael Keaton, okay, he was there, but I was like, it wasn't enough. And Supergirl boy.
I heard that Michael Keaton. I heard Michael Keaton was wasted.
Yeah, I mean, if you have him for a
Like
movie,
wasted and like he was drunk during the filming or wasted?
No.
Just wasted in using him in the movie.
Yeah, they could have done a lot more with him.
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha. I thought you meant like, oh my God, he was really drunk. I'm like, holy crap.
No.
What's amazing is he looked so good. I think they could have pulled it off. Like he didn't look bad in his costume. I'm sure a lot of that CG had nothing to do with him, but when they had him in the costume talking, it was believable. It wasn't like watching an old man in the costume and believing like, yeah, he's just like Indiana Jones. He's just mailing it in,
Right.
That's crazy though.
I haven't seen that one yet. I'm waiting for it to come to free TV, and then we'll see. I hear it's terrible, though.
Really?
It wasn't too bad, but
really
it wasn't the best indie movie.
First of all, when you do an Indiana Jones movie, there's a certain level of expectation to every Indiana Jones movie. We all know this.
And honestly, they couldn't even keep that up to par in the movie before this. Not that that was the worst movie in the world, but it was already the character and the IP.
Which
and the
one?
actor-
The
wasn't that Connery and him?
No,
Uh,
the last
no.
one was the Kingdom Skull or Crystal
Kingdom of the
Skull.
Crystal Skulls or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think that this last one was a little bit better than that, personally. Though. That's my own.
Like I said, with an Indiana Jones movie, you're expecting a level of adventure that is kind of in competition with something like Star Wars or something like that.
Yeah, it should be epic.
Yeah, well, this was better than the last couple of Star Wars movies.
Well, you can't compare anything to a Star Wars movie. Hell, The Flash.
Well,
The Flash is probably
honestly,
better than the last Star Wars movie.
But honestly, the last 10 years have gotten progressively tough for fans of that genre. You know, because as they've learned how to make money, they got to a point where they got diminishing returns and they didn't put the brakes on or change direction. So we ended up with things like Indiana Jones and the Destiny Wheel of Time or whatever it is, and the Flash, and God, you know, the Secret Invasion on Marvel Disney. I mean, I haven't watched any of these. I've only seen critics, and I'm like, somehow I feel blessed that I'm missing out on most of them.
Well, Secret Invasion was nowhere near as good as it was in the comics. And then, because they didn't include any heroes in it, really. It was just all, not even S.H.I.E.L.D. It was just all Fury.
Well, honestly, I thought Secret Invasion should have been the next big movie story. Like, that would have been cool because they did the Captain Marvel thing with it. They could have like brought it in and start, you know, revealing certain heroes. You know, Hawkeye gets killed and the Avengers are investigating because he turned into this green lizard-like alien thing, and all of a sudden they start realizing there's Skrulls among them, and you know what I mean. Like, they could have done a comic book level epic and had like another 4 or 5 movies.
There's just one problem with
Well, they're doing Kang right now. They're working towards Kang the Conqueror.
Oh man,
if you can stay out of jail. The actor playing Kang is apparently really not a great guy, and he may be going to jail. I don't know. They'll probably buy him out of it. But what is it with Hollywood actors lately getting in trouble? You're playing the roles. Well, he's a villain, so I can't say that. But like, you know, you're playing the roles of,
Kang is not. You can't call Kang a hero or a villain.
yes, I can,
Well,
because
he's
I can
supposed to be
be
a
ignorant
villain.
and stupid.
No,
Yes, I can
he's
be
more of a
ignorant and
dictator,
dumb.
which means he could flip at any moment, depending on if
Well,
it's
that's-
good for him.
Well, that's like saying you can't call Doom a villain then.
Victor Von Doom?
Victor Von Doom is an amalgamation. He's actually both.
Because he's a dictator of, you know, a country.
He's
so,
a head of state, but also before then he was a little off. He's
Well,
always been a little off.
yeah. But I think just because you're a dictator doesn't mean you can't call somebody them a villain. There's
True.
evil people that are dictators can be villains.
True.
Dr. Doom.
Yeah. No, well, I was even thinking in real life. I was going to say a couple people that I probably shouldn't say on this show.
You mean
You know the
Hall
guy
and
with
Oates?
the guy with the mustache from the 40s?
Yes, Hall and Oates. Hall and Oates. They did
Overplayed.
hits in the 70s and 80s.
Will Pol Pot ever get his due respect as a villain?
Probably not. Probably not because
You guys aren't
because
talking
of
about
where.
Hall and Oates,
No.
Anyway, I
Pol
had an
Pot will never
idea.
get his credit as a villain because in some ways he was too nice. He wasn't as ruthless as the most well-known villains of history.
I had an idea for maybe another. If you ever do another obstacle course, what about using like villains, and you could have like balloon tosses, and they could throw balloons at the Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was actually thinking with that scooter, you could change it into the Bat scooter. Make that the Batman one.
I was thinking we could paint the kids silver and make it Silver Surfer ride.
Oh my gosh, you guys are funny. But thank you for those ideas. I think I'm going to stick with what we covered.
Yeah.
And then Chris got to make it weird.
Yeah.
Well,
Am I going to get to go through the course myself? Do I get to
you
test
can
this?
if you want. Yeah. Come up tomorrow night. I mean, Friday night.
Well-
I'll be at the town hall.
Yeah, I'm sorry
Well,
I'm
we
gonna
can.
be missing that.
Well, we can always make Chris Galactus.
Next year, Rick, if things are good.
Yeah.
I'm
If
more
we
like the
make-
blob.
If we make Chris Galactus, yeah, that would be funny.
That would be
Chris has-
elaborate. I actually would love to dress up as Galactus.
Either Galactus or Unicron.
Yeah.
No, I don't know either of those.
No, but now that I think about it, Chris would make a great Unicron, a transforming planet.
Yeah, but he couldn't transform, so he couldn't be made into the planet.
Actually, I've seen a lot of great transforming costumes made of cardboard. So I think I
Yeah.
could rig something. I've
Yeah,
seen a
you
lot
could.
of
You could.
It's not
It'd
too
be
bad.
hard.
if you spend a little time.
I've seen some great Transformers cosplays.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not
So
saying.
it's not
Yeah,
too
but
far.
you gotta have a little bit of do re mi.
Is that
Oh, yeah.
Canadian near me?
No.
Oh, wait.
Unicron could actually sing.
Have you ever seen the Transformers attraction at Universal Studios? That Megatron is hilarious.
Oh yeah. I've seen that and the Optimus one for. I've seen clips on the YouTube, but
Best-
Megatron's probably slightly better than.
Best part is Megatron will start talking shit to the people around him.
That sounds like something Megatron would do. That's what makes it so much fun.
Yeah. And then that actor in that suit certainly gets away with a lot.
Mhm.
At that point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So Diana,
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to make a bat cave. What does it look like?
it's kind of like a cave.
Just think of just a generic looking cave.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. That's
Think,
Galactus.
think of a cave and then put a supercomputer in it. That's all you got to do.
Guys are killing me over here. Super.
Diana,
computer.
could you make that costume and I could cosplay this Christmas as it? Or this
What
Halloween?
did you want to make again?
Right there. It's on the screen.
You could make Galactus Christmas colors.
Yeah,
you could.
That's what I'll do.
You could.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think
Bolsheviks.
wasn't he originally green and then they changed his color like unceremoniously?
I don't.
My
think
name
so,
is
but-
Galactus, eater of Christmas cakes.
Where did he come from? What
The
show?
Planet
Well,
Uranus.
Fantastic Four.
Oh.
Well, that's where he first appeared and all that, but his origin is actually he's supposed to be from the universe that was before our universe.
Ah, let's see.
He devoured his universe.
Is he a Marvel or a DC guy?
Marvel.
DC, yeah, Marvel.
Fantastic
Oh, I
Four.
see.
All right. Nope, I don't think I've ever heard of him. Has he had any movies? I only know them from the movies.
Well, he
Well,
was in this movie, sort of.
Well, that's kind of difficult to explain.
He was in
Because-
the second Fantastic Four movie, or at least his name was.
His name was, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
I saw a cloud that I thought was him.
Yeah, they decided
They took a little
because
bit.
they took a little liberty with him in that movie. That's why most people hate it.
Yeah, well, they sort of. It's completely different, but they took a little bit of thing from the Ultimate Universe for Galactus in it.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So,
He looks like a Transformer dude or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he
know?
was way before them.
Oh.
So that's actually a recolor of the original. Let me see if I can show this. Just because I'm kind of fascinated by this, I remembered him being green. but that's a recolor. So if I go here and I go here, present, share screen.
Just think of Thanos on a grander scale.
Okay.
So this is a comparison, I guess, of the original print, and then on the far right is the recolor. But remember when I said he was green? The one I remembered looked most like the one in the middle.
Yeah.
And then they like just changed them. Like I think they got rid of the G really quick in the center.
They did.
Of this.
They did because
Just a little back.
you have to think about it. Galactus is beyond that.
Yeah, he wouldn't be putting the English letter G on his.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Galactus is beyond branding.
Exactly.
Yeah, then they think of him as Giant Man.
Exactly.
Galactus will not make a deal with Nike.
I don't think Nike makes a shoe in his size.
So is he big like Thanos? He's supposed to be or something?
Oh no, he's taller than skyscrapers.
Oh.
Well, let's put it this way.
He eats worlds.
Take a planet the size of Jupiter and magnify it about 10 million times.
Oh.
Well, I think that's a little bit large, but
We're talking about the Devourer of Worlds here.
yeah, but I'm going by the few times that I've seen him, and just even looking at him in size of the Fantastic Four here, although they don't really have them. I don't think.
Yeah,
it's
their
right.
heads are kind of peeking up. Hang on, let me see if I can find a reference
Do you
shot. Because in
think-
the '60s, he kind of grew. In the '60s, when Kirby first had him,
yeah,
I think he was a little bit smaller. And then Byrne took him bigger, and then certainly there's been other cases where he was so huge,
right?
Like heroes were like almost insects to him.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to remember.
Do you think that if you ate a planet made out of sugar, he'd get diabetes?
Possibly.
But would he eat it all at once, or would he just put it in his pocket, and like suck on it a little bit as he goes?
Finds a giant, cup of coffee to put it in.
Okay, yeah. So he's going to get it all at once. He might get diabetes. I would think. I mean, I wouldn't want to drink it either. It's probably very sweet.
You just break
And
it
I
off
like
a little piece at a time, and then you put it in your
Yeah.
cup of coffee.
Give him something to snack on. That's basically what you're saying.
So I remember, wasn't there? There were points where the Thing was punching his foot, and he was no bigger than his ankle. Or am I remembering?
The Thing did punch his foot, but he stopped just below his ankle.
Okay, here's a cover. Let me open it up in a new tab. Open image in new tab. Yeah. And they're all, you'll see, they look like not big.
They look like ants. I know.
Yeah, well, or maybe not quite that small, but you'll see in a second. They're not big.
They look like Lilliputians from Gulliver's Travels. That's where they got the idea from.
Where are you? There you are. So this is a cover, 60 cents. So that's probably actually John Byrne. But that is Byrne. But see what I mean? That's like the Hulk, or not the Hulk, the Thing, and Iron Man and Doctor Strange. 6 to 7 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look at Captain America. He's almost the size of his foot. Comes up to about almost his knee, halfway back, but the size of his boot there.
Yeah, so he's big, but he's been even bigger too. Like I remember in Secret Wars, he was monolithic. He was just boom. So I guess he varies, maybe depending on what he's eating and when he's eating last.
And Secret Wars, he wasn't allowed to change his size. That was the thing about that one.
The incredible thing about that was until that, truly Galactus was almost considered untouchable. And then Yondu just kind of came in and went, yeah, no, you're not that bad.
Yeah. Well, I was just looked up about his height, and there's something here that says he's usually around 29 feet tall. However, his size can fluctuate dramatically depending on how he wants to present himself and how well fed with cosmic energy he is. The more planets Galactus devours, the more he can alter his size.
Right.
Ooh, so he can, like, if they're hunting for him, all he has to do is grow and hide that way. We're looking for a 29-foot villain. I'm sorry, dude. I'm 42 feet tall. Obviously, I'm not the man you're looking for.
Or he can just stop eating and then like go get really, really small.
Exactly.
I'm only 7 feet tall. How could I be that man?
Oh my, I'm so hungry. I could eat an asteroid or something.
The cops turn their heads. He's biting into the ground.
Guy's just so weird.
I swear this is not what it looks like.
No,
Look the other
no,
way.
Diana, you have to understand. These are the jokes that are usually made about Galactus.
I know.
Yeah. There's something here too that said Galactus, something about him and the in-betweener. It says Galactus took that very personally, looked up to how big the in-betweener was, and found out the entity was listed at 266 feet. So that's when the Devourer of Worlds vowed he would never show himself to be smaller than 267 feet.
Oh.
Jealousy. It's a dangerous thing.
Oh man, only 250? Damn it.
But the very fact that he could just decide, I'm gonna just be a foot taller than you on, like, wow. I know that doesn't work for me. I can grow outward.
Excuse me, does my butt look big?
Does your butt look big?
I need to lay off those gas giants.
Yeah, I wonder how that works, because like with tacos, I get heartburn. So if he's like the wrong planet, does it affect him differently?
Well, that's why he has his heralds, to get the perfect world, so he won't get that sort of stuff.
Like with Mercury be like a jalapeno, and Venus be like a cool frosty, and
do you know why Jack Kirby created the Silver Surfer?
Why?
He wanted the silver dude?
No. Oh, he figured that a guy who eats planets shouldn't have to waste all of his energy finding something to eat.
Yeah, but then again,
he wastes a lot of energy trying to find planets, so he created the Silver Surfer to find these planets for him.
Yeah, but a Devourer of Worlds, like, why wouldn't he just eat the planets as he comes up to them? It's not that far away from one galaxy to another for his size.
It must be particular pedigree upon it. Otherwise, he's not interested. Just like a man will walk by several pigeons to get a chicken.
True. Very true.
Why did he not stop and fry the bird on the side of the road? It was quite tasty for the crows and the animals about. Yet he goes forward to go to a KFC and get a chicken.
Does he have to worry about the pairing? Like this planet goes with this wine.
Yeah, like he might have cuisine concerns. Like he has white wine, and that just won't go with a red planet. It has to be blue.
There you go.
Never know.
Does
And
he have
there
to
you
worry
go.
about food poisoning? This
No.
planet's been sitting around for too long. It went bad.
That would
Pluto.
avoiding
it for a reason.
You just described half the planets in the known universe that's been sitting around a while.
Speaking of known universe, man, you notice the alien stories have gotten quiet?
I know.
Well, that's because a lot of the people on the left are shooting themselves in the foot by saying stupid shit about Israel.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
You know what? I can't believe it, but it is kind of to be expected. And I don't know if we're in the end times. I want to preface this by saying that. But if it's not the end times, there's a lot of things changing really rapidly and hardcore. And A lot of
Yeah.
stuff is ending.
I'm just saying that they're shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, if it really was quote unquote end times, people would be on board for that, but they're not.
Yeah, well, we're hearing a lot of people not on board for it, but what concerns me is like the 2 million people they let in this year. Where are they, and how many of them are actually cool, and how many are like, here for ill will? And I don't want to go doing manhunts and roundups, but there is a concern level that, like, I sure hope to track these people and know what they're up to.
Well, that's funny because I've heard there'd be a lot of pro-Israel people. So
if they brought in pro-Israel, I'm okay with that.
no, there are pro-Israel people here, but there's been quite an uproar about rhetoric from these politicians.
Yeah.
Well,
Especially
those two ladies I think you're thinking of, I think they probably should resign, even though they will not, I bet. But if they won't resign, they should be like expelled.
Yeah. It was kind of funny when there's a reporter following one of them and saying, "How do you feel about babies being killed or all the atrocities that the Palestinians,
Children being beheaded and women raped in the streets, and the politician, just the congresswoman, I think she's a senator, I'm not sure, marches right by her and ignores her repeatedly, like for what? It must go at least for a minute or two.
Oh, I made sure to tag that video with to that person and then call her a coward.
Yeah, it was really bad because she does support Palestine in all of this.
And she
runs the Palestine flag outside her office.
Well, she also told them not to support Israel, even though Hamas just launched a bunch of rockets into Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I hate how there's like a real problem in the Middle East, and it comes down to they are vicious to each other. Now, it doesn't matter who started it. It doesn't really matter because if you say, well, Israel is being outrageous in their counterstrike, well, the first strike was nasty, which was in response to the last strike, which was in response to the strike before. It's been going on for generations. And one of the things about Palestine is most of the Islamic countries refuse to accept those people because they cause disruption wherever they settle. They're historically a disruptive culture. So they're right up against Israel. It's a powder keg, and it's invariably going to flare up. All I can do is kind of pray, and I think that's all any of us can do, because it's like they're gonna fight.
It's a bomb waiting to go off. We all know this.
Yeah. And with the Ukraine already stretching things, and the leaders that we have both in the United States and Canada right now, let us pray that the Lord has his hands all over this, because otherwise we are in trouble.
Yeah.
That actually kind of irritates me. They wanted us to care about the Ukraine so much, and then like when Israel gets attacked, they don't you dare support them.
Well, not only that, but this is like on a level that's far more barbaric than anything Russia did. And don't get me wrong, Russia killed a lot of innocents going into the Ukraine. I know that. I'm not excusing their atrocities. But this was just, and I'm sorry, this is historically what's gone on. Basically, in that area, this was barbaric. And there's just no way to get around it. Like, and we're shocked because we're Westerners. We live by the rules that the UN set. The UN said this is uncivilized war, so we shall not use this weapon and do this technique. And so they fight by pretty rules. The Palestinians don't fight by those rules. They go in and they take advantage of the weakness of the human flesh in any way they can.
Well, you have to understand one thing. The UN forgot the first rule of fighting. There are no rules.
Right.
Well, and you know how gangsta the Israel is. They don't put up with shit.
Well, that's what scares me for Palestine. So I was reading comments about it, and apparently they've cut off all electricity, gas, and supplies going into the area. And basically they're going to choke out like this whole area of Gaza Strip. And there's people crying out how, this is horrible. There's survivors in there, and they're going to end up dying because there's no attention to this and this and this. And I want to agree with that, but at the same time,
Who started it this time?
well, it's not even who started it. It's like this is so vicious. This is like if you're fighting Jason from Friday the 13th and you have him on the ground, he's tied down, and you have an opportunity to behead him. And you decide not to out of mercy, despite the fact no matter how he's tied down, he's going to break out and come at you in 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds to decide to finish him, but you go, no, you know what? I'm going to be merciful. Maybe Jason will come around. Jason never comes around. If you haven't seen Friday the 13th, he's never the nice guy ever.
Yeah.
Do not trust Jason.
I'm just saying there is a phrase, and that's F around and find out.
Yeah, you're right. And with Israel, they're definitely armed and they're definitely prepared.
You're talking about a country that has armed guards in their airports and has double pane bulletproof glass between the pilots and the passengers.
Well, and they have don't they have mandatory military service for all their citizens and
yes.
And they're all highly trained. It's not like they go in.
Every citizen of Israel has to serve in the military, women included.
Yeah, and we're not. What I mean is, we're not talking like reserves where they go in for a couple of weekends.
No.
They serve
active duty.
So basically, their whole citizen population has had like a minimal of 2 or 4 years in service. They know how to 6. There you go. And they know how to use these weapons. They're ready to go at a moment's notice if need be.
Mm-hmm.
It's a powerful little country.
Yeah.
And they have most of the best tech that they can get their hands on, and some of their own tech that they've developed themselves.
Yeah.
So like they have a lot of our stuff. I'm sure they have a lot of China's stuff, and they certainly have a lot of their own stuff.
Well, the 50 caliber pistol was developed by the Israelis.
Yeah, because the 45 just wasn't enough. Let's go for the 50 caliber. Have you ever seen one of those fire though?
No.
I've only seen the
Yes,
video.
I have.
Oh my gosh, I've only seen the video, dude. But it's like holding a cannon. It's like boom, like that thing just. Ooh, and the guy that was shooting it, he was like the skinny little guy, and it moved his arm.
I'm gonna tell you from experience. If you're not in peak physical shape, it will knock you down.
Yeah, it almost did him. It was like it moved his whole like top upper body, spin it. Like he was able to like spin his body when it shot. So like he kept his footing, but it wasn't like shooting a little pea shooter, put that way. It was intense. If you Google it, I'm sure you can find it because it was all over the internet a few months ago.
Yeah.
But it was shocking to see. I was like, wow, that thing is. You don't want someone shooting at you with it, even though I think there's a great chance they'll miss you because the kickback is so strong. Like, I don't know how he aimed. I don't know if he hit his target because they didn't show that. That was kind of conspicuous. There's probably some guy like 3 miles on the left who got tagged.
Why do you think other countries, when it comes to a 50 caliber round, they use a rifle, not a pistol?
Yeah. Yeah.
Something you can lay down and fire.
Put on a little stand to help you keep it steady.
Exactly.
Use the scope because you can be that far away.
Well, I guess they just have their personnel really trained with it.
Mm-hmm.
That was sad, Rick. I thought you were going to give us some like bad humor.
We were waiting for the joke, Rick.
Yeah, man. You didn't give us one.
Sorry. I just wasn't gunning to do so.
I saw you yawning over there, so. And I'm
you do realize it's 11:45, right?
Yeah, now I do. We got to get going because I got to get like to work tomorrow. I got to sleep a little. And I bet you Diana's not even conscious because her thing's mute.
No, I'm working on labels for the bags for the Comic-Con.
Oh. I thought she had fallen asleep.
No, I can't sleep because I'm in pain. I was up last night. I suspect I'll be up all night again tonight. So all those things. I might as well be useful if I'm going to be in pain, right, guys?
No,
You say so.
one of these days, I'm gonna have
One
to.
of these days. One of these days.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do a final check of our Fund My Comic.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see, what are we doing there? We are still at 645, but that is beautiful. We are 645% above funding because I went for $100 again. We have 30 days to go. Hey, did anybody notice that I have an actual lyrical theme with Cyclopean's name in it?
No.
Oh. So we're going to get ready to go, but hang on. I'll try to cue this up so I can actually play it one more time. Go back. It's so cool.
I've heard it 100 times now. I'm like, oh my God.
All right. So for everybody out there, go
Well,
back.
Diana, you can't really complain about it because that's your moneymaker.
I know, but still, 1,000 times in 1 hour. It's a lot for me. It's in my head now. I guess that's a good thing, right?
Well, I'm
in.
Chris. That's not the right one. That's the right one.
All right.
I hear
Well,
a printer.
guys, yeah, I know. I'm going to mute again. Good night, everybody. I'm going to sit and listen to the song, and God bless y'all. Hopefully, we'll have some good news, and I'll take some, shots of the obstacle course and share it with you.
I'm going to do some live streaming Saturday.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
All right, here we go.
He's an alien from outer space. He crashed to Earth and he's here to stay. He's here to make all the wicked pay. Every bad guy fears his name, the Great Cyclopean. The one-eyed guy with the sharpest mind. The hero with the fingers always spouting signs. A rising star with a blinding shine. Give him a chance, he's gonna blow your mind. The Great Cyclopean.